Hi, Dr. Greg Gillum, CEO of Human Fusion, and the next couple of videos we're going to review a webinar I just watched from the Gallup organization. It's kind of around their new book called It's the Manager. The title of the webinar was 5 Traits of Great Managers. Now, the intro to the video talked about some general things that I think is important to kind of review. Number one, don't make management a default reward for high performance in individual contributors. So we used to do this, unfortunately, back in the old days when I was back in the pharmaceutical companies. We would promote our best salespeople into management roles. That does a double disservice, a double whammy on the organization, right? It takes a key position, it takes that individual contributor out of that key position, and it puts them into a management spot that doesn't work. And so you've just really wrecked the train when you do things like that. So it's incumbent upon organizations to create non-management tracks for individual contributors. So if they don't want to be a manager, or they don't have the competencies to be a manager, you have that ability to keep them motivated and keep them engaged long term. Because the second point in the introduction follows that we should be selecting managers based on their aptitude for management, not whether or not they're a great individual contributor. We know this intuitively, that the best individual contributors do not make the best managers. We know this. This turns out to be really like the most important decisions that organizations make. Who's going to be in the manager role? And the reason it's so important is because the data that Gallup shows is that there's 70% of the variance in individual performance is related and tied back to the manager. So almost all performance in an organization is related to the managers in that organization. Amazing. And so we must do our due diligence to hire correctly, or we will set ourselves up for a multitude of pain. HR at Glaxo used to say we hire 100% of our problems, and that's even more true when we're talking about managers. Okay, so what are the 5 traits? We're going to review one of them here, and then we'll save the other 4 for tomorrow's video. Number 1 is motivation. And now there's no rank order here. There was no statistical difference between these particular traits. Number 1 is motivation. Managers who know how, obviously, to motivate themselves, but they, more importantly, know how to motivate other people. They lead with energy. They have what, on the EQ spectrum, if you look at self-management traits, they have achievement and drive. They know how to get up and go get it done. Every day starts with 0. I love that quote. Every day starts with 0. No matter how good, no matter how bad yesterday was, we start over again and we go get it done again today, and we try to improve on our performance. Obviously, these managers have very, very high expectations for themselves and for their people. One caveat here that wasn't in the webinar, but I noticed that this is the manager that Daniel Goleman describes as the pace-setting leader, which is fantastic most of the time. But if you always have this pace-setting leadership style, you actually end up with a negative morale drain on the organization. So you have to be careful about using this particular style all the time. But anyway, motivation, number 1 trait, and tomorrow we'll review the other 4. If you like management-related videos like this, please subscribe to Human Fusion. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest trends that are affecting management practice.